the Cricket Show USA, the Cricket Hall of Fame USA, and the American Cricket Education Council, ACEC, ACEC, is pleased to welcome the weekly joint collaborative broadcast of the Coach's Corner. The objective of the Coach's Corner is to provide coaching education and expert views, information, oral and practical assistance, while helping to educate those seeking to understand and to become actively involved in the sport of cricket, nationally and internationally. The segment of the Coach's Corner will run from 6:15 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will feature Jatin Patel, Cricket Hall of Famer and multi-sport coach, administrator, and director of the Cricket Hall of Fame. Good afternoon to you, Coach. Welcome to another edition of the Coach's Corner. How are you today?
Good evening. Doing well today.
Good afternoon to you, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, how was your visit down southwest?
No, I was in Chicago yesterday.
Okay.
At the launch of APCL Cricket Academy with your Antiguan man, Sir Vivian Richards.
Oh, the great one. The great one.
Yeah, yes. Still there in Chicago.
Okay.
I'm heading back to home now.
All right. Okay. Be careful. Take it away.
Okay. Coach, this week's topic, we're looking at momentum, and I will kick this off with the first question for you. Coach, some sporting victories are seen as momentous, while others are not. Can you describe the difference between a momentous victory and one that is not considered momentous?
Well, this is a good question. The momentum means it comes like 4 or 5 steps if you look at it. The first thing is you must gain the momentum or pick up the momentum. Or someone says start the momentum. Means you begin with something and then accelerate to keep up with that momentum, whether it's a one game series or even individual performances over a long period. And eventually, once you pick up the momentum, gain momentum, make sure you maintain that momentum. To sustain means you have to keep performing at the consistent level with whatever the capacity you have achieved the original goal. It's always the other way around. A lot of times we have to accelerate and make sure we do much better than what we have momentum going on. I will give you 2 examples, cricket related for sure, but that is the biggest thing. But at the same time, it does have a risk involved where a lot of players or teams not able to keep that momentum. And they usually, we call it wheels are off at the critical time, or you are having a different outcome than what you expect or the fan expect, and that usually happens. Going back to the question, the prime good example, very good example about momentum and momentous victory is today's final when the Spain, we all know that in 2023 FIFA World Cup, so many upsets, so many things happening. But there's a one team reached the playoff first time, that's Spain. They did all their hard work to get there. Once they reached, they did not give up. And they stay with that momentum. They kept with it. And they continue what they're doing it. And they decided to do better, but without taking too much risk. And eventually, they went quarterfinal first time, semi-final first time, and today, final, the championship. No doubt, it's a low margin, 1-0 against England. But at the other side, we have to think about England. They had momentum. They gained. They came all the way up to here. And they did not maintain their momentum. And that's on the losing side. When it comes to the cricket, the momentum is directly connected with the, I call it mindset. What do you start with it? What do you want to do with it? And what do you want to keep continue with it? And that is the key part. So here's a one simple example for any batter. What is the common thing we ask for as a coach? Player need to go down there on the pitch, try to settle down first, take some touches, make sure you are comfortable. When you feel confidence, let's start playing with it. And then the momentum is like in a progression. You score, let's say, a dozen runs. If you score dozen, can you keep up this momentum to reach 25? If you reach 25, can you keep momentum to reach 50? And this is the incremental order, right? But it's in a progression. What we're trying to do is stay with the momentum and pick up the accelerator. Means let's do better than what we have done so far. And if you succeed in that situation, then the outcome and performance both can be different level. At the same time, if you look at the baller, a lot of times we have seen it, the baller bowls first two are very good, maybe with 1 or 2 wickets, and all of a sudden they are not able to keep up with that performance, and they start giving away runs, and we see what they started, they were not able to keep continue or doing better than what they have done in first over. So this is like a simple example of the momentum, which definitely has a directly connection with the mindset, which we know that a lot of factors can affect. A lot of factors can cause the problem, and that is the biggest strength. In order to keep momentum, and in order to keep up with the momentum or increase or accelerate, you must have the mindset change to the next level. And so on, the momentum also carries in the team performance. And we have seen, I will say, West Indies example is a good one. We had a lot of them, but unfortunately, as everyone knows that, it's always on and off. You never know what happens in today's game, and 2 days or 3 days later, there's a different performance out there. So we are not able to maintain that momentum which they already gained from, let's say, one game, right? And at the same time, I will not say the other team are not doing same way. It's always happens. For example, if you take the India, I can list about 8 or 9 events since October 2021 where India did not do well at certain times, certain point, at certain level. That includes a lot of big losses, I will say. And those are need to be concerned, because when you have an excellent team, when you have a team of potential champions, let's say multiple of those, we should not have end up with those results. And that is what in today's world, I will say for a small team with the good team cohesion, if you can pick up, gain, and maintain the momentum, all success are in your hands.
Okay, Coach. Thank you for that. Is momentum a physical thing or is it a mental thing?
It's a more of a mental. As I said, it's directly connected with the mindset, right? And it's a mindset is simple. I can do it. I will do it. And that is what this mindset follows. If you score a century in a one inning, then you need to have that commitment. Hey, I'm able to score century today, so I can do it another one too. And when you go next opportunity, you should change your mindset too. Hey, I can do it. And that is how it works. And because of that, as I said, it's directly connected with mindset, means it has a lot of things around. We're discussing for the last 3 months on various topics, and there are plenty of topics can derail your plan, and things can go different way, which is losing momentum or did not maintain momentum or other way, failed momentum. We have to start over from somewhere.
All right. Leon, would you care to
Yes.
comment?
Now, with momentum, coach, a team can take chances that they normally would not take. Is that something that you would, as a coach, would ask your team to do? Are you with me?
Well, that is the good thing about it, like cricket, soccer, these are the team sports, right? And it needs to be, it's a very good question, and I can go a little length here. Because when this team sport, there are four things involved, okay? Let me tell you, four corners of the team sport. One is definitely administration. Second corner is definitely a management. Third one is the operation. And the fourth and last important is execution, which is on-field activity. The other three are directly or indirectly related, but they are not in a position to change anything. They are the decision-making things, right? And this execution side becomes more important. So it's a heavily rely on all four sections of this team sport, and they have to deal with this momentum, how they want to keep it up. Let's say example for India. We have probably in last 3 months, if you look at it, how many players has played international cricket? Let's take it this way, whether it's ODI, Test, T20. So you are going to come out with maybe around 30 players altogether, right? With the World Cup around the corner, they need to find a proper 11 who will take the field, right? So here, what happens is administration, management, and operations are working together to find a better solution or proper solution which can be very effective and very potential to win the championship. But at the same time, this momentum can heavily rely directly with the on-field performances, which is we call the execution. Because when you have players are on and off, when the things are changing, some are rested, some not rested, some new players coming, some old players are trying to get along with the new players kind of thing. So these all factors is all about team building process, but at the same time, they have to consider how they keep the momentum. Means usually does it carry winning success? Does it building up the process which can help them win with the agenda, let's say. Over here, I will say India has an agenda for the World Cup at this point, and so far they are making all changes, and even though we have seen it, even in West Indies, they win couple of, means the West Indies series, they win 2 of them at least, and the others were, I will say, close calls, right? And the same thing in Ireland, I think they won by 2-0 today, right? So this thing can happen, and this team usually look at even this FIFA World Cup. What happened? USA lost, not just USA. There are plenty of teams in top 20 are knocked out from this World Cup. So what happened here, whatever the plan they had, everyone has a good plan. I don't think anyone is playing to lose. Everyone wants to go out, compete, play for it, and win. But unfortunately, when you don't have momentum or when you are not able to carry momentum, and the results are the failure.
Yes, thank you for that. Good answer. Good answer, Jatin. Back to you,
Coach,
Dennis.
Coach, does momentum come in the form of a single act or action, or is it a series of events?
It can be both ways. I will say on individual performances, let me break it down 2 ways of momentum. In individual performances, this motivation can help, and this momentum can be changed in a matter of moment, let's say. But when it comes to the team, it's other way around. this momentum can motivate and inspire others to do well. And at the same time, you can expect your failure may cause to the other teammates' performance. They might be under a below performance or failure. So these can go either way. But the most likely, in case of these winning games, I will say, the one player's contribution or performance when they are single-handedly winning for the team means they did pick up game and kept momentum until they win. But if somebody is dropping out before achieving the goal, we have seen plenty of time. We can see batsman is doing really well. They go all the way close to the victory, and all of a sudden, let's say maybe 2 overs left before the victory, passing point or scoring to cross. Means like if you have less than 10 runs needed and you losing wicket, the important wicket, with the batsman who carried all the way up to close to finish line, I will say. So these are the things the player has to learn, how to stay with that momentum you carried away for a long time. And again, as this question belongs, it can change at any moment in individual performance or in team performance, and it can go either way.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Coach, once you have momentum, how do you keep it going?
There is a lot of things you have to lock it down, I will say. That is what mindset is. A good example, I'm still scratching my head for the last 2 days, I will say, since I met this Sir Richards in Chicago. And the way he used to play, the one biggest thing what I recall is that ACEC World Cup when he took the field after the Garden finish out on this first over. He was smashing all Indian bowlers to all over places until one of the greatest catch in history by Kapil Dev ended the Sir's inning. At this point, I will say entire India and the world, I don't think anyone has thought about it, that somebody can stop Sir Richards and India can win, right? But what happens here, it definitely triggers and it sets the higher mindset for the other people. It's all about self-belief, which raises the confidence and people going in a different direction, right? So what happens here is whatever the mindset you have, you need to carry it away. The few great mindset I can recall is basically 3 of them. I can hand count easily. One is definitely Chandrapal, right? How you can play 1,000 deliveries without getting out. I mean, it's a perfectly mindset. Come on, doesn't matter who is bowling, what stage they're bowling, how they're bowling, how many partners he has losing. Does he lose his head? No, he keeps continuing. He is a world record holder of losing partners at the other end. How about that? You know, it's like busy things, and I can tell you 2 more great examples. I always think about it, and it's not easy to do it. If somebody thinks they did it and I can do it, no, it's a huge challenge. One of the things is probably Jeffrey Boycott from England. We used to call a sticky batsman. He stays for longer innings. Means he has a commitment. He has a proper mindset, and he's not changing his mindset, believe it or not. Same thing with another great entire West Indies now, Sir Sunil Gavaskar. He can play long innings. A lot of people used to call it boring, but I will say anyone think about this number from these 3 legends especially, and you can add Brian Lara, Richards, we have plenty of them. Add those numbers, and do we have any youngster out there in today's world who can go out there and play maybe about 200 or 300 deliveries? There are not many. We are seeing them like on and off, but where is the consistent performers? If you look at these 3 legends, like I believe Steve Narayan is like 3 or 4 times in the test career, he has played more than 1,000 delivery before he got out in international cricket. Now that's a huge, it's not a one-time deal. He has repeated that. Same thing with Sunil Gavaskar and Jeffrey Boycott, if you read the history, I believe they have played more than 300 balls in an inning many times, not just one time. And that is the beauty on this mindset process. If you have proper mindset, and if you keep that mindset at the same level for a longer time, which is we are trying to say, they are keeping the momentum with the same mindset. They are not changing. They are not let it go. Because once the mindset change, any moment, things can change.
Oh, thank you, Coach. Before I go on to the next question, Leon, just for reference, I've had a message from Audley, 645. Are you hearing me, Leon?
Oh, yes, I'm hearing you. I tried bringing him.
Yes.
I tried to get him in, but he was not picking up.
Yes.
He was not picking up. So
645 is his message.
Okay, no problem.
Can momentum be improved? And how exactly is that done, if it's possible?
It is definitely strong mindset commitment. It goes with your mental. Means you got to have the first control, which is important, that you are not losing the momentum you have right now, or you carried away or carrying on. And at top of that, can you lift that momentum another 10, 15, 30%, something like that, right? And usually this one we have seen more in a batting, let me say honestly. A lot of times we have seen in T20 and 50-over games, some of the great batsmen start slowly. They may not have that great strike rate or economy rate, but eventually after a while when they are on the field, they usually, we call it, they change the gear. And now the strike rate is changing or economy rate is changing. And these are the beautiful things to see, that those mindset has improved to get the better performance. And yes, anyone can change it, but you need to at least figure out what exactly going on. You must stay with the current situation and how you can improve. That is the big thing, right? So it's not something, I call it rocket science, but there is a way to do it. And it comes with the practice. A lot of things comes out with the mindfulness.
Okay, Coach. The mechanics of action in sports are important, but are mechanics of play and momentum related?
Well, there is a simple way. We all call it in a sports. Learn from the losses, learn from the mistakes, learn from the failure. It's a common practice. If you can do it, then you can definitely improve. Yes, there is not much effort from the outside which can change that standard. But the mentoring can at least help you to improve that thing. And that is like goes with the age, depends on how many failures and how many mistakes you are making. But the biggest thing is for any player, are we learning from it? Are we trying to avoid or repeat the same mistake? Eliminate that section of those same mistakes. You don't want to repeat again, and that is the key. But at the same time, what you learn out of that situation, and if you are committed to improve and do better, then things can change. And that is what it comes with the maturity, right? And a lot of times you might have seen, in especially youth cricket, there's a lot of people think more the kids play, more they learn, right? They need the more matches, they need more practice, and that's how they learn, and that is the truth. But it's only good if you are keep learning out of it. And that is the biggest thing for it. And it's, again, related to our question, maturity matters. And the more they get older, they are becoming smarter, especially on mindset matters.
Thank you, Coach. Let me say hi to Virgil, who has joined us, and just pass the message to Virgil that our good friend Trevor has not reacted by picking up when we've brought him in. So if there's something you can do, then we would certainly be happy to try again. Now, let me go back to another question for the coach. Coach, from a team or individual perspective, is there a drill that can be practiced or perfected by the individual in order to cause momentum?
Well, this is, as I said, is directly related to the mindset. So it's the individual's control. It's individual's ability to do well. And it's nothing much can be done from outside which can impact, except those factors can cause to lose momentum, right? But there are a few triggers out there. If the player can improve themselves from the others or from the situation, we call it motivation and inspiration, right? How the person can get inspired or motivated. If you take that particular topic, then you can easily say that the player has uplifted to his own capability and ability to raise his own performance standard. And that is, we call it the momentum he gained or picked up. And then from there, he needs to carry on to make sure he maintains or he maintains, right?
Okay. Leon, if you're hearing me,
yes.
Is there anything you want to come in?
Yeah, I need to come in, yes. I just wanted to just ask Jatin about it. Can momentum trigger a captain or a team to be over ambitious, to do things that they normally do? And what effect would it have if they fail, if that particular circumstance failed?
Well, now this is depends on the player. The most likely two factors.
Alex Stokes.
I will say the one is definitely, as a coach's standpoint, this momentum can trigger if they find the player as a coachable. It's a different word now here. The coachable player has a lot of characteristics, a lot of things are considered to label that player as a coachable. If we have the coachable player, the most likely case is he will follow coach's instruction, he will follow the plan, he will try his best, what coach has asked for it or what coach has recommended for it, and they will do it. That's the one side. Number two, on the leader side now, we are going infield during the live game. It is a huge factor. We are talking this point for last, I think, 5 years since I have joined this radio show. Before that, I will say. Let's say many times I always discuss, especially on West Indies situation. So many times, especially in Jason Holder's situation when he was a young and appointed as a captain.
Yes.
But at that time, he was a short-handed in field. In terms of, there are not many senior players like India uses, where on the field who can help him or he can provide the support for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can say this is one of the best questions we got so far in evening, I will say, okay? I can tell you why. Guess what happens? You playing with, let's say, Virat Kohli or Dhoni, okay? And you are a young player, and all of a sudden, you got the opportunity to play in the team, and this highly respected, your idol, we call it, and you are dreaming to play with him, And if this person asks you something or tell you something to do, believe it or not, these respected persons, these advice, instructions, or command can get long way, which can change the momentum. But at the same time, it can go other way. Let's say somebody is not that much, don't have much expertise or experience behind it, where someone can say, hey, I like to be like him, you know. And that's component missing. And in that situation, whatever you say so, the person may not take it seriously, right? And that can hurt the momentum. The momentum is, as I said, you have to pick up, or keeping it on a sustainable level, right? To maintain it, it takes a lot. But as far as trigger comes, it's a how the player is getting instruction or advice, recommendation, or order or command. And that makes a huge difference to change that momentum in any game.
Thank you for that, Coach.
Thank you, Leon.
We have Audley with us now. I don't know if he can speak because.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Go ahead, Dennis.
Our topic for Audley is momentum, and I don't know if you have any questions you want to put to the coach. Otherwise, I will continue.
About momentum?
Yeah, momentum. Think about it.
More. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Coach, does the action or spectator involvement initiate momentum or keep momentum going during a match, whether it's soccer or cricket or any other sport?
It does. And the biggest example in this case, again, is a cricket-related. In older days when I was growing up, especially in India, once India win the one test or two tests of the series, believe it or not, they want to carry on the momentum, which is following test need to be either won by India or draw. But we don't want to lose it. So what happens is here that they set this mindset, right? And they will assess the situation day by day, session by session, hour by hour, or moment by moment to make sure they stick with it, right? Same thing, if you look at the soccer world, it does. It does. A lot of teams who are doing it, if they get succeed, they will continue to their fullest capacity and ability. And this year's, I will say, in this category, if I have to name any team, it's a Morocco. That's the first time they got into the FIFA World Cup, and they started doing well. And they at least fight for it. They give whatever it takes or whatever they have until they're knocked out by a low margin. And this is the biggest thing or challenge for any team sport, to keep that momentum, or after you pick up that momentum, can we get the next level so we can have the better outcome? It's a huge challenge.
Thank you, Coach. Brother Audley, did you come to any decision? Do you have a question for Coach?
No, I don't have. The thing about momentum is, as we know, is like somebody was going like haywire, or somebody is behind, the team is behind, and then somebody will just come and pick up the momentum, stuff like that. All right. But my question would be, it depends on whether the person is batting the type, if a message was sent out to him, what caused the momentum to shift? Is it just because the person has an insight, look at the scoreboard, or maybe a message was sent and say, look, you need to pick up the momentum and things like that? I don't know if it's that context you're dealing with, since I just came in.
So that is correct. As soon as you see the situation, the mindset changes, and so does momentum changes. If you want to have a good example, simple one is, let's say you want to start running from tomorrow, 2-mile run, okay? Now, you need to have commitment. I can run. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you need to have commitment. I will run. You may not be able to finish 2 miles. That's okay. But you're coming back. You learned something today. You're tired. You might be thirsty and forget the water. What are you going to do next day? You are coming back. Now this time, again, you want to try. Don't want to give up. Means you are going to grab that momentum to run 2 miles. Now this time, you are well prepared. Drink enough water. Carrying a water bottle. You might change the time to run. Instead of running in the hot sun, especially in Florida, you decide to go early morning. Guess what? Things will change. Once you pick up, once you run, once you achieve that goal of 2-mile run, it doesn't matter what time it takes, but then you need to come back next day to keep that momentum. Are you able to complete another 2 miles, right? And then you carry on for a while because now it becomes the routine, means you maintain that momentum. You sustain. You're trying to continue on a consistent basis for 2 miles. Shifting the momentum to next level means now you are looking at, well, I'm running 2 miles for 15 days. Why don't I try 2.5 now? So that is the point we are looking at to see if we can increase our performance by changing the momentum, which is directly coming from the mindset, right? So these are the things like why we lose the momentum and why we pick up or maintain momentum is definitely mental.
Okay, thanks for that answer, Coach. Thank you, Audley, for the question. Coach, the actions of match officials are very important, but does match officials influence or affect momentum of a match?
Well, there is always the funny part when decisions go wrong way or other way or in a controversial situation, then the momentum does break down because it does affected by the mindset process, right? And because of that, a lot of players get disappointed, which does changes their mood, so does the mindset, and so does the momentum. But at the same time, there are decisions when umpire makes it and changes. The player who was a victim of this appeal, let's say, if he's a batter, and if there's LBW appeal, and all of a sudden it's turned down after the review or something, and then definitely this batter's momentum will change. Believe it or not, they will try to do better actually. And usually you are looking at positive performance, improved performance. So what happened here, if you are happy with the umpire decision, momentum can change positive direction. If you are unhappy with the umpire's decision, we are all human beings. You have reason to get upset, anger, frustration. There's a plenty of things can happen, and that can change momentum in a negative direction.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, does money or other prize reward influence momentum individually or on a team basis?
If you talk T20, yes, money is everything right now, and that can change. Well, what happens, like, I can tell you, this is another simple example. If you see a little grandkid or kid, and if you want to get it done, you are giving them something. Even you're ready to give a candy, I think this kid is ready to go. If you try the same thing without offering candy, what happens? So this is like a simple example. If you have a player who is unhappy camper because he's not making enough, It's a human nature. He is not there with the 100% heart. And if somebody is getting bonus or the higher money, guess what? They will go extra mile because their mood is changing now to do something in return of that money.
Can momentum be coached? Can you take a player in the field and coach them to get momentum?
It is, but there is not something you can explain or you can show them or you can tell them to read or watch. It's always in a practical way. Means you have to create an environment which is we normally call a game sense training, game sense scenario-based training, which we are expected to face or see during the live game. And if you create that environment, and if you put the players in those challenges or in situation, now this is the practical part, means they are practicing how to deal with that challenge and take the momentum from there. And if you do repeatedly, then you are getting trained that way. But it's all about practical approach, the physical involvement, rather than you take any other communication route to teach them.
All right. Well, as we're about to wrap up, I'll see if I can pick your brain here on this one. Focusing on the upcoming 2023 ODI World Cup, can you name one or two national teams with momentum at this time?
This World Cup, watch out for the team Australia, I will say. Number 2 team I rank is definitely Pakistan. And then the third one should be India. But at the same time, we have to be extra careful on England. Sri Lanka can be dangerous. Right, so those are the sides can change, depends on how they get the momentum. I do not consider much about South Africa because they always lose steam in their engine. We have seen plenty of time in 30 years. They go all the way and lose the momentum and take the exit before the playoff or during the playoff.
Yeah, we know that.
Choker's corner.
and there's on and off momentum. West Indies is not participating in this World Cup, right?
One
play.
Well, does Virgil have a question he wants to put to Coach on this discussion about momentum?
No. I have a question. I'm just listening and learning some stuff. So I'm not questioning.
All right. So this final googly from me to you, Coach. What effect, if any, does playing conditions such as the weather have on momentum of a team or of an individual player?
Yeah, you deliver the good googly, but I'm prepared for it because I play more spinners in India when I was growing up, okay? It is a good thing. Doesn't matter what momentum you have, but as I said, it's directly connected with the mindset, and mindset has two things very important are called a mood and the emotion. The mood is the biggest factor. As soon as you see cloudy weather, rainy, cold, your body physically changes, not because of the weather, but the weather has impacted your mood, and mood will take care of the mindset, and mindset will put into the momentum, right? And because of that, we have seen it. After the delay or rain stoppage, we have seen many times that it's hard to grip the ball and deliver the way you want. And at the same time, we have seen other way around. It's hard to hit boundaries, and the people are losing wickets because they're not able to score. So it can go either way, but it's definitely the pitch itself, which is the platform we are getting the ball from, and in a condition where we are playing, both can change momentum. depends on how the mood and emotions are involved because of that weather.
Finally, Coach, you hit that one out of the park. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Coach, for your insights, your knowledge, and experience. We invite you to join us again next week at the same time right here on the Cricket Show. There is no doubt that Coach Patel have answers to the questions you have been asking. The question that says, how did he do that, or why did he do that? Maybe you will say, I am going to do that next time. Thank you once again, Coach, and we look forward to your next session with us a week from today when we'll have another session of the Coach's Corner. Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Leon.